Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. All right, well, we got to take this and we need to turn this down to fit this circle here and be able to press it on to about, I don't know, somewhere around in there. So we'll start turning. So we're sitting at 565, 5 inches, 565 thousandths. And we need to take an inside measurement of this disc, a reasonably accurate one. So we're just going to set it up on top of here for right now. There we go. There we go. So, what do we have? We're sitting at 5, 25, 35, 540. 540 is our hole. And we're going to write that down someplace. 5.540. Okay. Take this off of here. So what we want is about 538. It'll give us a nice little even press fit. And we are sitting at 530. So 38 is going to be somewhere. So this is the original. I thought the original was 9/16. And maybe it is. Yeah. 550. Yeah, so that's 9/16 rough. Okay, let's cut this and see what we come up with. Yeah, that's hitting pretty steady. A little bit over here, but it's catching everywhere else. Okay, let's see what we got here. So we're sitting right at 50. 5 inches, 550 thousandths, well 48 actually. and we want to go down to 40, or what was our measurement? 540. So we want to go to 42. So 48 is just about where we want to be for the moment. Let's just take it across, see what we end up with by the time we get to the middle. Okay, let's take a measurement from what we have now. Just about right. And we are looking at 545, 547, 6.5, 546.5. So we need to come down another 4. Okay, well, we're at 40.5, which is not a hell of a good press fit, but it is a press fit. So I think we're going to be okay there. Now what we want to do is, this is going to be a 1/2 inch of this, and then we want to relieve everything here so that our disc goes on smoothly. And we don't have to fight it all the way in. So we're going to take another 5 off of that. All right, let's give this a try, and then I'm going to go have a little breakfast. Slides on pretty well. Until it gets to there, and that needs to be pressed on. So that's going to be good. I like it. Then once we press it on, and I'm going to clean this up a little bit, gets back to some bare metal, and then we come in and do maybe 2 or 3 passes, weld passes on both sides of this. There we go. All right, well, hey, that's pretty good for a morning. We'll be back. All right, well, one last thing we're going to do. By the way, I had a really nice breakfast. It's about an hour later, and we're back. One last thing I want to do here before I disconnect this, and, you know, we're square up here, we're square here, but this square here is a pretty ragged edge. So I want to come in and cut a 60-degree cone in this. And we're sitting at 45 degrees right here. So let's take it, well, actually we're going to cut it at 30. 2 30s is a 60. So there's 30. Bring it in. And I'm thinking better to use a boring bar. This one's a little bit bigger than what I would normally use, but it's here and it's available, and what the hell. Let's just use it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I think that's going to give us what we want. Yeah, we got a good seat in there now. Okay, so we'll be back. Okay, so now I got it flipped around, and what I really want to do is just square up this end and get a cone going on the inside of here. We're going to leave this as it is for the moment until we weld this whole thing on. So we're going to square it up. And we got a phone call. We'll be back. All right, we got her squared up. Let's come in and recut that cone. Okay, so we're going to take our hub and we're going to put it in between centers to test it out. And that's going to be a little harder, easier said than done. Yeah. There we go. All right. Lift it up a little bit. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, let's lift it up a little bit. There we go. And we got her in. All right, so now we can kind of spin it, and it's on two floating centers, so we can kind of see how square this plate is with the center hub, because it's the center hub that's the key here. It wants to float somewhat square. So we're going to bring in, square up with the plate and give it a spin. Looks like it's a little bit out. Let's put a indicator on. Well, that's not going to work, is it? Somewhere in here. There we go. And we'll bring it right to there. Give it a spin. So we're only out by 60, 70 thousandths. Which way is, okay. So that's high. And we're bottomed out on our Well, actually, we're not. All right, no problem. Let me get a slammer. Okay, so that's low. It doesn't want to move, that's for sure. Tighter than I thought. Yeah, it hasn't moved a bit. It ain't moving. Ha! That sucker is tight. Alright, well, one thing we can do is put it back in the press and repress it. But let's just keep trying here. Okay. Well, no, I don't think so. All right, we moved a little bit that time. Maybe. Yeah, we're starting to get some movement now. Either that or it's come loose again. Yep, come loose. Why is it coming loose? Yeah, we got some movement going. Okay, that's high. Okay, we're sitting at 25, more like, yeah, about 20 thousandths. I can live with 20 thousandths because we're going to have to machine this anyhow. So I'm happy with that. We'll be back. Okay, so we've got ourselves between centers. We've got ourselves all lined up. Our holes are nice and even, and the plate is on there nice and square. Now what we've got to do is we've got to get this fire scale off of this area here, and I'd like to do it with the bit, but the tracer attachment gets in the way. So I think what I'm going to do is just come in here and grind off a little bit of that, and everybody, I think, will be happy. Okay, we got her somewhat cleaned up. I'd say enough to do a little welding. And let's take it over and weld this baby up. Okay. We'll be back. Okay, we're going to use our welding table for the first time. That's kind of exciting. And let's preheat this beast. Okay, let's turn a vent fan on. And it's time to do some welding. All right. Let's see what we can do. All right, well, I never claimed to be the best welder in the entire world, but I'm adequate. And this is a good weld. It's not real pretty, but I never could make pretty welds. So, and there's one or two little corners here that are kind of cute. That, like right there. Oh man, that looks so good. Oh, then it's a mess. So we're gonna flip this thing over and weld the other side. We'll probably just put one pass on the other side. All right, we're going to do a single pass on this side, see how things go. Okay, I think we're set here. We got just a little bit more to do. I think I'm going to fill in these holes, but I'm going to do it with the MIG because we're going to come back and machine that back off, and you know, the MIG is much cleaner. All right, so we're going to fill in this side, and then we'll probably cut this off, oh, I don't know, right about there, and go from there. So these welds are not critical. I just want to fill it in and make it, look like one piece of material. So we're not going to worry about doing this right now. Let's get the heat blanket. Throw it around this thing. And let this thing kind of cool off a little bit. And we will come back to it. Okay, it's cutting time. We can turn, no, we'll just leave that on. So we're going to spin it around and take this line here. Alright, well, we're going to cut that wedge off, and the thing is just right at the edge of the metal. So I think we'll just go with it like it is. Can you see what we're doing? Yeah, I guess you can. Okay. We are going to set our torch. If I could find a striker. How many strikers do I have? Okay. Wait for it to heat that little corner up. There it is. Almost ready. Pick cup. All right, we got our hole to cut and a second hole here, but we got to get that later because we don't have well, we do have it actually. Yeah, we could cut both holes, but for right now we're stopping. And I'll be back. All right, well, so for cutting the straight lines in the plate, I used the 1/4 inch follower, and now can you see it up there? Yeah, a little bit. Now we've got a ring up here, and it was a certain size, and it's a little bit too big. So what I've done is I brought in a 1/2 inch follower, and that's going to give us a little bit more or a little bit smaller circle. But hopefully it will work, but we don't know yet. So we're going to hook that up and bring it up against the metal, and now we're going to come down to the bottom, and let's bring the torch down fairly close because we want to be able to get the lines matched up just right. And let's see what that looks like. We might actually have something here. We just have to keep dinking around with it until it fits. All right, well, that's about as good as we can get it, and I think it's going to be too big of a circle, just by a little bit. Because if you see on the outside here, these are the bolt holes, and they're 5/8 bolts, so that's going to be pretty tight. So what I think we have to do is, I think what we're going to do is come on up here. We'll take our follower out, and maybe we just make a sleeve that's like a 1/16 bigger, and just, you know, just a slide on sleeve, and see if that's going to work, and maybe even knurl it. Okay, so I found a piece of 5/8 shafting, and instead of putting a sleeve in there, we're just going to build a whole new one. So we're going to turn this around. We're going to cut our seat, or our small diameter, and then just the large diameter I'm just going to take and knurl it. I think that's the way to go. Let's make this just a little bit longer though. We want that knurl to get going. All right, so let's cut her down first. That ought to give us what we want. All right, let's take it out. We'll take it over to the saw, cut it off, and we'll be ready to go.